And Retired Life Inspired starts now. It's been a minute. It's been a while. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. But let's begin properly with I bear witness there is no God but Allah, but who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad. I further bear witness that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is his exalted Christ. And I bear witness that the Honorable Minister Farrakhan Khan is the divine reminder in our midst today. I greet you on the greeting words of peace again. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. So good to see you again. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. I did take the rest of May off, and there's another video that's going to probably come after this one or maybe before it. I don't know. I haven't decided, which will explain that I was busy doing things. And what I was busy getting ready for was a trip that I took to the DR with Prayer and Fasting, the Foundation for Success group. There was a small group of us that actually went international, and we went out of the country and did, by the grace of God, some beautiful things happened. So I'm going to share that with you, break it down, unpack it, however you want to say it, with future videos. While I was there, okay, I had planned on doing, I had a video that I did where we were staying. Really beautiful place we were staying. So I'm going to probably just put the pictures on the blog that's going to coincide, an article on the blog that's going to coincide with this video. So I'll put the link in the description. But oh, the video, when I looked, it was gone. There was issues with the Wi-Fi, and when I looked, the video was gone. It was gone. And I had my cool hat on and everything, you know, but you know, it's neither here nor there. The information is still great, but I thought, oh well, you know, okay, it's gone. I got pictures, you know, hey. And I have the experience forever within my heart. This was an amazing trip. All I can tell you is I just kept saying the entire time I was on my way, and that is, wow, God, you blessed me, and why me, and why not me? And you know, what are you gonna show me? And what is this all about? What am I gonna learn? What am I gonna learn more about myself? Oh, it was an amazing journey on the outside, that kind of journey, and an amazing journey to the inside of me. And it's just a lot of growth happened. So, but I want to start, this is part of our the summer topics. I'm talking about travel. And I'm also going to be talking about, God, I can't think what was my other topic. That's bad. Travel is one of them, so we're just going to stick to that. Travel. Must be the age kicking in. I don't know. What do you think? But travel for sure is what we're talking about. Oh, yes. And being of service. Thank you for that download. Thank you. But being of service. And this trip really did combine the two. It's the perfect example of the two subject matters coming together. So we're going to be breaking this down in upcoming videos. But first things first, it's June. So a lot of people, for them, this is the time of year they can actually travel. Actually, June is not my favorite month to travel at all. Having worked in an airline, it was my least favorite month. June, July, least favorite months to travel because everybody would go traveling with their families. My favorite months to travel were like the off season, like late April, early May, October, things like that. And you might want to check out those months because you can actually get pretty good deals on tickets on the off-season dates. So just saying, you might want to look into it. But a few things I want to cover, since I've worked in the travel industry, and things I just like to share with people, and some things that I was reminded of that I needed to do myself, and in some instances I did not do them. So let me start from the beginning. This is going to be this is the exact information I had on the other video that I lost. So the information is good. Can you tell that I'm still kind of, you know, sulking over the loss of that other video? Yeah, but I'll get over it. All right. So anyway, but let's go with this list of a few things. First things I would always recommend wherever you're going to go, especially if you're not familiar with it, glasses on, is, I can see now, is do the research. Do your research. Check out where you're going. If you've never been there before, do the necessary research. You can call the consulate of that particular country that you're going, especially if you're going outside of the country. So mainly what I'm focusing on is if you're traveling abroad. We will focus on some things that you can do if you are traveling within the domestic United States as well. But I want to really hit traveling abroad. Do you hear my phone ringing? Yeah, it's a pretty ring, isn't it? It's really, I'm just going to let it play out. We're just going to let it keep going. Hold on. I just couldn't take it. It's pretty, but it's interfering. Anyway, next, you can also Google and check out YouTube about, use those resources. We didn't always have those resources as tools to, if you want to find out information. Definitely call the consulate, but, Google the place. Find out what's going on there. Check out YouTube. Look up, people that are actually broadcasting from there, other people that are, traveling there. Just look up, like say you're going to Spain, travelers in Spain, just, put a topic in there and see what they're saying. Find out. But educate yourself before you go. Also, because of the recent events of 2020, I'm not saying that word yet. I don't know if you can say that on YouTube yet without being penalized. So I'm going to be really super duper conservative on this, but check out CDC regulations. Along with the consulate, check out that country's regulations of entering and departing. Will you need certain documentation? Will you need a specific type of visa? There's certain paperwork when I went to the Dominican Republic I had to have with me. I know, like if you go to Australia, there's an electronic visa that you have to have, and you can get it at the airport, but there's certain things that you're going to have in order to enter the country. And because of the situations that have taken place in recent history of 2020, we all know what that was. That you may need to find out, can you enter? Can you enter or can you not enter? Or do you meet all the requirements for entering or exiting that particular country? So do your homework ahead of time so you don't get stuck while you're there. Or stopped at the airport, all packed and ready to go. Ooh, I got that call. People were ready to go and they got turned around at the airport because they didn't have everything they needed, or they got turned around at that country and they got turned around right there. Germany's big for that. They're very strict. If you don't have, if your passport isn't up to date, you're turned around right there. And that is the best way to turn your trip into a nightmare. Speaking of passports, check your passport date. A lot of countries, if it's just months within expiring, that's not good enough. Make sure that passport is up to date and take care of that well in advance. In fact, that's probably one of the number one things you're going to want to do before. I would say that's probably number one before you even start your research. First things first, check your passport if you're going abroad. If you've only got a month or so to go, fix it now. Now, once on the ground, one of the things that I remember that I used to do when I was in Puerto Rico, and I knew my phone wasn't going to work. So what I started doing was I started checking out the transportation ahead of time before I even left the States. What kind of transportation they have available? Well, they had taxis. They had mass transit, because I was going to be going from one part of Puerto Rico to Old San Juan. And I checked out their transit system. I read articles, I read other people's reviews on it, things like that. And it was different from the U.S. Transportation. So I was kind of prepared mentally to deal with it. This trip, I made that mistake by not researching the transportation out as much as I should have. And what I should have done is I should have, knowing that I was going to come in late. I was coming in late from the group, separate from everyone else. Everyone else was coming into Puerto Plata. I was coming in to STI, or Santiago, San Domingo. There's a different airport. I was flying in that way because that's where my airline carrier brought me in. So with that being said, it meant that I was going to be landing late, and plus the plane did leave late out of JFK, so now we were delayed even further. So I ended up arriving there at 12:30 a.m. So I had to kind of rely on old experience, but what I should have done was really checked out, what kind of transportation would be available at that time. And I could have done that ahead of time. The thing that I had in my favor was that I knew that. But I'm recommending to anyone else, do your research ahead of time. And I'm going to remind myself not to ever do that again, not to ever rely on past experience. Do my homework ahead of time, Antoinette. Do your homework ahead of time, because you're just going to be a little bit more at ease. And I know by the time I got there and got through that, I was cranky. So by the time I landed, I knew I was just doing a process of elimination. I was checking my surroundings. I go on immediate security. I'm a woman traveling alone. And it's 12:30 in the morning in a country I've never been in. So everyone's hanging out there as I'm walking, outside of the terminal. And people are hanging, waiting for their parties to depart from the airport. And I'm looking around and I'm keeping myself calm and I'm looking like I know what I'm doing. But I'm looking, no bus, I'm observing my surroundings, and I notice, okay, I can't quite identify what is and what is not a taxi, but fortunately I'm praying taxi. And this wonderful gentleman, his name was Rogelio, came up and said, do you need a taxi? And I felt like I grabbed him by the shirt collars and pulled him to me and said, yes, but I didn't. I promise you I didn't. I did tell him, yes, I do. And spoke a little Spanish, and asked him where the ATM was. Got an ATM, got him the necessary funds, and it was an hour and a half ride to Puerto Plata. It was a wonderful ride. I was happy to be on my way to join the rest of my party. Kept my eyes open, staying on alert, because I had to. Remember, he was very nice. I felt very safe, but at the same time, I am a woman traveling alone in a country I've never been before, well after midnight. I know God is real, but he also wants me to stay vigilant as well. So stay alert, stay calm, but stay alert. So let's see. So that was my, eventually I got to where we were staying. Gorgeous villa. I'm going to leave it at that. I will talk about that in a little bit, another video, or I'll have the pictures in the article. But man, I thought I had, gone to heaven. I was just extremely blessed. A couple of other tips though, when you are traveling, and this came in handy, pack light. Pack clothing that's easily, interchangeable. Do not bring your entire kitchen sink with you. Ladies, especially us, you're going to have to remember, bring things that condense things. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. 2 rules I always have in traveling, that is, keep it simple and give yourself lots of time. It makes for a much easier experience, even when hiccups happen that you weren't expecting. Hair, how you like them? I did the braids because I don't want to carry a bunch of hair products with me. So come up with some kind of hairdo, something. Keep it simple, keep it neat. That'll go from, casual to evening if necessary, and it meets all of those needs. So hair, again, keep it simple. Find something that's easy to manage and to take care of. My final warning, and this is something I mentioned when I was on my way to Puerto Plata, always be aware of your surroundings. Always. During the entire time you're traveling, always be aware of your surroundings. Make sure your necessary documents are ready stateside for anything in case anything happens. Carry the necessary documents with you in case anything happens while you're there. Medical information, whatever you need. Carry it, make it simple. Make a copy of the front of your passport. This was shared with me by a very savvy traveler. In the event your passport is stolen, if you want to make sure you know where the U.S. consulate is, and they can actually, with that copy of your passport, they can help you replace it. Which brings me to my final tip, number 10, that is, know where the U.S. consulate is in case anything happens. But those are a few of my top 10 tips I can give you in terms of when you're traveling. And some things you're not always going to be able to prepare for. Just make sure you bring as much money as you can. Bring a variety. Bring some cash. Bring cards. I wouldn't necessarily keep it all in the same place. Find different places to store it on your person. Jewelry, like I said, pack light. Don't bring anything expensive. Bring anything with you that if you lose it, you're going to be okay about it. That's chalk that under packing light. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can think of off the top of my head. I think those are the main ones. If you can think of anything, please put it in the comments. As always, start a discussion, not a fire. I welcome any comments and any ideas or any suggestions you would have to help those that might find themselves traveling this summer or in the months ahead. But it's good to see, it's good to be back on Retired Life Inspired. It's good to be broadcasting again. Look forward to other things concerning travel coming up and being of service. We're going to be covering that next in the next video. What happened in the DR and why was it such a blessing? Now, until then, continue to create your life inspired. Take care of you. Be good to yourself. As always, peace and take care.